Resolution will be considered as read and open for amendment. I recognize Mr. Lucas, the chair of the task force, for 5 minutes to describe the purpose of the resolution. Mr. Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This new task force is a recognition that monetary policy actions of the Federal Reserve deserve the focus and distinct attention of this committee. The Task Force on Monetary Policy, Treasury Market Resilience, Economic Prosperity will give the Financial Services Committee the opportunity to dive deeper into those issues and why they're important. The task force is charged with examining issues related to the monetary policy, the Federal Reserve's dual mandate of price stability and maximum employment, and the fundamental role that the U.S. Treasury debt plays in our economy and the resilience of the Treasury market. During the past 4 years, the Fed has grappled with persistent inflation, surpassing more than a 40-year high. The task force will evaluate the mechanisms of the Fed uses to target stable prices and assess how to achieve economic prosperity for all Americans. This year, the Fed will conduct its 5-year review of monetary policy strategy, tools, and communication, which will provide a valuable opportunity for self-reflection. The task force will also work to combat attacks on the Federal Reserve independence and the pressure on the Fed to take policy positions outside its core mission. The partisan temptation to turn the Federal Reserve into a vehicle for political objectives has only been made worse by the Fed's expanded role as a bank regulator. This is an issue the task force will study. Another important focus of the task force will be on the health of the U.S. Treasury market. We will examine the Treasury market resilience, Treasury auction demand, and market pressure on primary dealers driven by a massive increase in U.S. debt. Treasury market liquidity is critical to the smooth functioning of capital markets and impacts everything from insurance reserves to pension funds. Today, the Federal Reserve holds more than $4.2 trillion in treasuries, demonstrating the outsized role the Fed plays in these markets and the potential disruptions that could occur to liquidity as the Federal Reserve unwinds its balance sheet. This is a critical issue to the world economy and to global markets, and will give this issue the attention demanded by its extraordinary impact. When I speak about the work of the Financial Services Committee, I always bring it back in real terms. My home district in Oklahoma is agriculture, it's energy. Those are very capital-intensive businesses. This task force is an opportunity to articulate how the economic prosperity of all Americans is driven by the issues under our committee purview. The state of monetary policy, the conditions of the U.S. Treasury market, decisions made in Washington, D.C. and New York have a real and profound impact on main streets all over the country. I want to thank Chairman Hill for establishing this important task force and giving special attention to the issue. And I want to thank Ranking Member Waters for her willingness to partner with us in this issue. And I look forward to working with the Ranking Member of the Task Force, Mr. Vargas, as we examine the policy decisions that affect the financial well-being of all Americans. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Thank the gentleman from Oklahoma for taking on this leadership task. I think it will be a very important one. I want to say how much I appreciate his work already in thinking through the important things to consider under this task force. And I, too, look forward to the gentleman from San Diego representing the minority on this task force. For far too long, we've witnessed too many distracting mandates diluting the Fed's core mission of price stability. This task force will allow our members to prioritize the exploration of the Federal Reserve's dual mandate, analyze the role and responsibility of the Federal Reserve, and examine the impact of fiscal and monetary policies on Treasury debt markets. It will also enable our members to focus on crafting policies that ensure that the U.S. dollar remains the world's reserve currency and ensure that price stability can lead to higher productivity, less uncertainty, and sustained economic prosperity for all Americans. Congressman Frank Lucas has been representing the people of Oklahoma for over 30 years in Congress, where he's demonstrated a deep understanding of complex topics from the derivatives markets to national security, but an unparalleled ability to lead members and build consensus on critical issues. As a former chairman of the House Agriculture Committee from 2011 to 2015, Congressman Lucas helped craft and ultimately pass the 2014 Farm Bill with bipartisan support. More recently, in the 118th Congress, Congressman Lucas was chairman of the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology, where he led on issues such as improving access to STEM education. As the longest-serving member of the House Financial Services Committee, Frank Lucas possesses a deep knowledge of monetary policy, the inner workings of the Treasury debt markets, and the types of policies that can lead to economic prosperity for American families, farmers, and small businesses across our nation. It's also fitting that a member from Oklahoma would serve as the lead on this new task force. Over 100 years ago, former Oklahoma U.S. Senator Robert Owen championed the creation of a decentralized central bank in his role as chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. I'm delighted to see Team Lucas and Vargas, and I yield back the balance of